Hi, this is Business with Dave. In this video, I'll be telling you when is the best time to start your new market store business. There is a good specific time range which I'm going to tell you about, but before I jump into this video, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel. You guys are all awesome, and if you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe at the end of this video. It is much appreciated. But yeah, let's jump straight into this video. So the ideal time I think you should start a market store business is about 2 months before your peak season. So for example, if your peak season is during summertime, you want to set up a store 2 months before that. So you want to do it between April and May. This gives you enough time to work your surroundings, work your product, how you're going to serve customers, and all the logistical sides. But obviously you want to spend as much time as you can researching, figuring out what products you're going to sell, how your packaging is going to look, what your brand's going to look before that. So you want to make sure you do all of that stuff before you eventually decide. But the ideal peak time for you to set up is 2 months before, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why as well. So firstly, you want to get a rough idea of your surroundings. So when you go to set up your store for the first couple of times, you're just getting your foot in. You want to see how your store is going to look and how customers are going to receive your products, how your products is actually going to look in front of people. So by the 2 months in advance, you are giving yourself enough time to adjust your surroundings, pick out maybe the ideal location within the market, and seeing how well each spot sells. Because if you have customers coming in from the front and this is where you can sell more because you grab them first sight, then you want to set around there. Or if you want to set yourself in between where people go through first and then they come to yours, you can see what that is like. Or at the end of the market where people see everything and then see yours, and then maybe you could capture some customers then, or customers will go back. These are the sort of positionings that you're going to need to trial and error, and the best time is 2 months before, because number one, there's less stores around as well, particularly because they don't necessarily want to operate in off-peak season. But for you as a new seller, you want to test out the market, you want to test out where's the best spot. So ideally, you being there, you being committed to the early months allows you to have that priority, allows you to have that knowledge in order to know where is the best place to sell your product, and that is pretty ideal. So secondly, the 2 months will also allow you enough time to improve the look of your store, your product, your service, how you're going to work when there's lots of customers, or how you're going to work when there's less customers. This allows you time for breathing space. This allows you time to adapt, to improve on your own pace, and you're not rushed into making any rash decisions because you've already experienced it, because you're already currently doing it. And that 2 months is so valuable because that is your development stage. That is you figuring out how to logistically work and how the work flows. So do utilize that time, because when it comes rushed, you want to be all hands on deck. You need to know all your systems, what sells, what doesn't sell, what's the best sellers, and then just pump out your products, because that is the time when you make your most money. So that is ideally giving yourself enough time to improve as you go along. Thirdly, you can get customer feedback as well. So early on, you'll be able to, again, test out your product. You'll be able to ask your customers, what do they think about your product? What do they think about maybe your brand? Is it worth doing? And just get the general feedback, because then that just sums up the stuff that you could potentially improve on. See what you may have done wrong, or see maybe stuff you can change. But this is the constant feedback that you're going to need in order to improve your business. And I stressed a lot about continuous improvement already in this video and in my past videos, but it's so important. You won't have your finished product in the first couple of months. You will be working as you complete it as your ideal product or food menu items and stuff like that. So you are adjusting, you are improving, and that's what you need to be, and your mindset to be really open-minded. And getting that customer feedback is so important, because customers are those who are going to come buy from you. If you don't listen to your customers, those customers won't come back. And if you don't hear their concerns, then customers might feel the same thing and they won't buy from you. So do take on those feedback. Do get opinions from your friends and family as well. Yes, they can be biased sometimes, but if they're honest about it, they'll give you honest feedback so you can improve. But it's the whole process, again, of continuous improvement in order to get your store ready for the peak season. And another point I think a lot of people don't really talk about is that once you get started and you're in the market store business in general, you'll get to sort of understand your competition as well. Not only those in the actual market itself, but there's other potential markets as well where maybe there's someone selling similar stuff to you or makes something similar. As long as you can capitalize on your market and no one else is coming from theirs, you can capture those customers in your location. But being aware of your surroundings, understanding your customer base and understand your competition, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. Can you improve on their weaknesses so they could be your strength and maybe carve out a USP for your business and your product? These are some of the stuff that will allow you time to digest and work on as you work towards your peak season. But it's spending that 2 months or even 3-4 months. There's no doubt that even if you start during January, February, less competition, so more spots for you to be able to compete with in your market store and more customers as well before everybody comes during summertime, and then you could be overwhelmed. So do take that time, do see it as a process that you need to get through in order to see that 6, 7, 8 months of process and hard work to end a certain product, so then you can move on with your business as well. See it as a process of learning, as a process of your product to improve and to get it where you want to get it. And I think most of the time people will give you a chance because they see that you're new as well. Because you're a newcomer, they want to see what you're doing, they probably want to talk to you, and I think that's where you tell them your story. Tell them reason why you're doing it. Give them reasons why they should buy from you and why they shouldn't buy from you in ultimate sense, because they will decide if they do. But you getting to know your customer base, you getting to know your locals around your market and your community, that will be so important, because you might come to a time where you need to rely on that customer base, that community, and you starting early, you getting in the community and knowing people locally and other suppliers and other traders, that builds customer relations, that builds good relationships with you as well. And ultimately, that's what you want to do. You want to learn from other people as much as you can, and potentially they could learn from you, and you could potentially buy from your other traders, and they could buy from you as well. So everyone is sharing. Everyone is that community, that togetherness that a lot of market stores have, and different markets. And one of the things I really enjoy, and I've made so many friends from it as well, and learning lessons, because there's no doubt, if you want to start your own business, you want to physically go do it. There's no point writing everything down and you don't do anything. If you can physically do it, create something, sell something, then you're on the right path. And so again, that confidence and skill set to be able to do that, and obviously that will take time, but you will build that as you go. Thanks for this video, guys. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, like this video and consider subscribing to the channel. Loving everyone who has subscribed, and they're slowly picking up, which is all awesome. I'm glad this content information is helpful to people and hopefully will encourage you to start your own business and hopefully have fun with it as well. I've been Business with Dave. I'll see you in the next video, and yeah, take care.